Mr. President, don't lift the ban on sales of alcohol during the lockdown. That's the call made by the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Health, Dr. Sibongiseni Dhlomo, has called on President Ramaphosa to ignore those calls to once again sell alcohol. And he joins us on the line. Dr. Dhlomo, thank you very much. Why is this such an important issue?
Yeah, I'm just taking from my experience as being a medical doctor that when you drink, you are predisposed to getting drunk, and this affects the nervous system, central nervous system. Once you're drunk, you really are having a poor sense of judgment on the issues around you, space, time, and the environment. Now, this period we are at, this one of lockdown, does not need people who actually are not sober. We need people who are sober, and therefore we just cannot afford to have people who have a poor sense of judgment around this period. They may just predispose us to many other things that we are trying to curb.
Yeah, fair enough. But of course, some privileged people, you could say, could stock up well in advance.
Look, I would still, whatever happens, my point of departure is that we cannot open now. Look, if the way people, yes, we did notice people in there and stocked food and all that, then maybe we can get away with that. They're drinking their bedrooms, but even police there can still come and arrest. The point is now we cannot open up bottle stores and liquor shops at this present and get people milling around and lying all over. And so already we know that if you inhibit the central nervous system, which alcohol does, you all sorts of things that otherwise you would not have done if we're not under the influence of alcohol. At this time, we would not afford to have people who would not be sober and focus on a very important problem that we're in as a country.
Yeah. Just to play devil's advocate, I mean, the shebeen and tavern owners say this is their livelihood. Do they, small business owners, any sympathy for them?
I know of certain countries who actually, now this is a long term, when they discovered that this particular drug that you sell had an impact on the lives of people, even in this one. You could even advise long term to say, maybe you should find another alternative space, but for now, another alternative agent to sell or product. But we now know and confirm that any liquor all over the people makes it all sorts of wrong behaviors. The rape goes up, the social ills go up. Here, we do not have people with a poor judgment be around here. That is the main message. We just cannot afford to have. We have done so well as a country on this issue of COVID-19, comparing us with the rest of the world. We not just afford to sleep on one of these very important program. It's important we all stay sober, we stay at home, we do not indulge into alcohol. It leads to people with poor judgment, and they will do all sorts of wrong things in our communities.
Doctor, finally, earlier we spoke to the manufacturers and distributors, their organization, and they agree with you. Well, they're supporting the ban on alcohol, in fact, but saying that there could be a rise in illicit alcohol sold, fake alcohol in branded bottles, a black market operating. Are you worried about those things?
Look, I know we have put a total ban on alcohol around this time, and we are supporting that it should not be opened. Yes, one is aware here and there you see certain activities. That's why we now will depend on the police and the soldiers to go and deal with those markets that have opened up. People, we see that here and there. Sometimes we hear about it, but we just need to have the conscience of our South Africans to behave properly. But our police, our soldiers can't be all over monitoring this process, because it is for the good of, maybe if you don't realize it's for the good of yourself, of your neighbors, your children, your grandmother, it's for the good of the country that we want to punishing people. But picture here about problems that we face in the world, and South Africa is actually doing extremely well despite this coronavirus. So we cannot afford not to continue on this positive trajectory as we see it being displayed by Minister of Health, showing us our good response and our positive way of handling this matter.
All right, thank you very much. That was the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Health, Dr. Sibongiseni Dhlomo. And